you know what time it is in your life? I've got a watch on my wrist. I've got a phone, both of them backing up so that I know what time it is in the day. But do I know what time it is in my life? Is it time to put away childish things? I can only be fruitful in my season. The Bible said you shall bring forth fruit in your season. Your leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever you do shall prosper. You have to know when it's your season, and you have to know when it's over. Over the 65 years of my life, I don't think I knew it when I started. I started preaching at 19. I started pastoring at 21. I don't think I knew it then, but I know it now. The best things in life takes time. When I was younger, I was impatient because I had the naivety of thinking that dreams would come quickly. But the best things in life take time. From simple things like food, preparation, to more complicated issues of parenting and marriage, the best things in life take time. People who don't have time to cook don't cook well because the best things in life take time. You can get married, you can have a wedding in 30 minutes, but it takes years to have a marriage. The best things in life take what? It is a sharp contrast between being rich and being wealthy. You can hit the lottery, receive an inheritance. You can be catapulted from rags to riches, and you can be rich quick. Though many define wealth differently than how I will today, true wealth isn't just about money, but it is about the lessons you learn while struggling upward. If you have money without wisdom, you will soon be parted from your money. The best things in life take time, takes relationships. You've got the money, but because it was given to you quickly, you didn't build the infrastructure to sustain it. You don't have the relationships to sustain it. You don't have the information to sustain it. And most people who hit the lottery, 70 to 80% of them go broke within 5 years. You can't imagine that you could hit that much money and lose it, but the truth of the matter is, God is teaching us that the best things in life take time. There are things that you learn from struggling. There are things that you learn from tests and trials and trial and error. Some of my best teachers were failure. It takes time to do well. It takes even longer to be well. Let's listen to the words of Solomon when he talks out of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 2. And listen at Solomon, the wise man, the wise man. He says, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. He says, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. You got purpose, but do you understand season and time? Now, we read over that quickly, but we really don't think about it, because if we thought about it, we would understand that some people are seasonal. Some relationships are seasonal. Some opportunities are seasonal. And yet when we see the seasons change, we think the blessing has ceased. But it is not that the blessing has ceased. It is that the season has changed. There's a great deal, I got a lot of trees in my yard. There's a great deal of difference between how my yard looks in the spring and how it looks in the fall. And by the time it gets to winter, quite frankly, the trees are ugly and barren and destitute. And if you came in the winter and saw it, you would have no idea of how beautiful it would be if it takes time. There is a time to be born, and there is a time to die. If I had time, I'd talk about they are very similar, birth and death. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Now listen at what he says. There's a time to plant and there's a time to pluck up that which is planted. Do you know the difference in your life? The difference between knowing when to plant and when to pluck. Have you ever asked God, maybe you've asked him when to plant, but have you ever asked him when to pluck up? Or are you intent on keeping that which is planted to the destruction of plucking up that which you have become accustomed to? You can't have a new season until you are willing to say goodbye to the season you had. I call it the art of letting go, the spirit of release, not wrestling, releasing. Some of you are wrestling to hold on to something that God is trying to take away from you, and you need to release it and simply let it go. That was that season. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I had to let go of childish things, childish thinking. I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child. If you are still talking the way you were talking 10 years ago, I've got bad news for you. You have a deformity, a spiritual dysfunction that keeps your thoughts in one dimension. That means you can't fall in love with your thoughts. I want all the stubborn people to say amen. Because if you are stubborn with your thoughts, you delay your next season. Those that leave the greatest impact understand timing. Timing is everything. It's not just can you read music, can you keep time. It's not can you tell a joke, but can you time the joke. It's not can you speak a message, can you use timing to convey information. You can give great information out of time and be an incompetent speaker because you don't understand timing. Everything is a rhythm. Everything is a rhythm. God is a rhythm. Breathing is a rhythm. Circulation is a rhythm. Heartbeat is a rhythm. Pulse is a rhythm. Everything that is alive has a rhythm. God is telling us over and over and over in nature, in creation, in procreation, that timing is everything. You can't be fruitful out of season. Somebody shout, teach me to know my season. Help me with my timing. You can be right about what you said, but wrong about when you said it, and do more damage than you did good. It's not about right and wrong, it's about timing. Right information delivered at the wrong time can tear a marriage up, can cause a child to feel defeated, can stop a loan from going through, can stop the house from being built, can stop you from having the peace you ought to have. You're worried about being right. You need to be worried about timing. You have to do things at the right time or you're not going to have the effect that you would have had because you don't understand timing. Because timing is what? Timing is what? Wake up. Timing is what? Wake up. Timing is what? Timing is absolutely everything. I've given this illustration before, but I want to paint it again for you that have not heard it. Harlan Sanders built an amazing business because he did the right thing at the right time. KFC came at a time in the American history that women had just started to go to work. It came at a time in history that families were still sitting around the table. It solved the problem. How can we simulate a family dinner without the woman being home to cook? Doing the right thing at the right time. It wasn't just about the chicken is good. It was that the need was great. It solved the problem and it came at the right. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Let me make this clear. If he opened up now, he'd go bankrupt. You can sustain it at this level, but you can't start it at this level, because now if you open it up, they want to know, is it gluten-free? Do you have vegan chicken? I'm a pescatarian. They were not asking those questions at that time. Success is as much about timing as it is about anything else. Do you know what time it is in your life? I've got a watch on my wrist. I've got a phone, both of them backing up so that I know what time it is in the day. But do I know what time it is in my life? Is it time to put away childish things? I can only be fruitful in my season. The Bible said you shall bring forth fruit in your season. Your leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever you do shall prosper. You have to know when it's your season, and you have to know when it's over. You have to know when to hold it. You have to know when to fold it. You cannot see folding as failure. It's all about timing. Oh, talk to me. It's all about timing. Timing is everything. I have preached this text many times. I have preached it many ways. There is an eschatological element of this text that I won't touch today that speaks to the end time. We could talk about it that way. But the reason I'm in this text today, and the reason I want to luxuriate in this text, after many days I have been seeing entangled roots underground. For me, this message did not start with the text. It started with a vision of entangled roots underground. Regardless of the plant type at the top of the soil, the roots mesh together underground. Whether it is weeds or wheat, if they are planted in the same space, the roots become entangled underground. And for days, God has been showing me entangled roots. I'm going to go deeper into this in a minute. Are you ready to go with me? I said, are you ready to go with me? I said, are you ready to go with me? Timing is what? Say it again. Timing is what? Good. The text starts with a very common phrase. The kingdom of heaven is lacking. Shows us that kingdom truths are veiled in comparisons. He doesn't tell us what the kingdom is. He tells us what the kingdom is like. So the kingdom truths that I am meant to get out of this will come through veiled, it is veiled in comparisons. Whenever the truths are veiled in comparison, you cannot become so inundated with the comparison that you fail to dig beneath the soil of the text to extract the truth. Why is Jesus telling us this story? It is not just so that we may know the story, it is that we might understand the truth that is hidden in the fabric of the story. So we can't just read through it and say, I'm through with it and I know the story, because we have to understand that the revelation is hidden in the analogy. It hides behind the parable. It is locked up in the parable in such a way that it causes you not only to read, but to think. If you don't think when you read, you won't retain what you heard. Some people will hear this message and get nothing, because they will not add the necessary quotient of thinking with hearing. And if you don't think, I am not your preacher. I cannot preach to people who don't think. So everybody's not for me. I'm cool with that. I understand that. I get that. That's okay. It's okay.